Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game. So, why couldn't there have been, like, some of these logs floating in the water in place of a broken boat? I mean, just because RPG Maker 3 doesn't have broken boats doesn't mean you can't improvise a little. Oh well. Anyway, when we last left off, we did not get fooled by the Siren. So, supposedly, we have Lucy along with us. And now we're going to make our way to the end of the game and hopefully rescue Sarah along the way. Not Sarah, Deborah. So something occurred to me at the end of my second run. At the end of the second run, Deborah was there, of course, because we rescued her. And she kissed Lex. In my first run, because we didn't rescue Deborah, Sarah was the one who kissed Lex. So there's definitely some stuff here that determines the ending that we get. I wound up looking through the code of the game because I was curious what it is that causes it. And as it turns out, there are 5 situations that, I guess I'll say, increase Deborah's happiness and allow us to save her. The 5 situations are finding Deborah in the secret garden, choosing to go with Deborah to the shell cave, comforting Deborah in the shell cave, looking for Alice with Deborah, and comforting Deborah again during that. Now here we are on the 3rd and final run, and my goal, of course, is to reach the end, saving both Deborah and little Lucy. However, by saving Lucy, I missed 2 of those happiness triggers. The good news is, I only need 3 of the triggers in order to save Deborah, and I already got those 3 before rescuing Lucy. So, if I am right, this means that we might get the best ending of the game on this run, rescuing both Lucy and Deborah. Where is that trigger for this thing? Oh, this is so ridiculous. Why is it so hard to get? There it is. Stay behind me and get them. And here's those 2 drug dealers. So you found it. Mark and Jake are holding the girls by knife point. Presumably that would include Lucy. The 2 men are covered in mud and sweat. Let the girls go. We know about the gold. You have been looking for it too. The stupid woman thinks she can scare us. The stupid woman being Victoria, who talked about the curse without actually telling us that she was part of the curse. We will have her gold and get the hell off this island. We are not searching for gold. We are all in danger. Mark holds the knife closer to Sarah's throat. Liar, you know the gold is here. You are going to get the gold for me, or else these girls will meet an unfortunate end. Sarah... Hurry now! So that played out the same. There's a lore book right there. We don't necessarily need it. I want to try something while we're here. I'm going back to this one, which is supposed to kill me, I'm pretty sure. But it doesn't do anything. And then things come to a head when the researcher and the slave girl encounter Rocklin, who is pretty much insane and greedy and insane with greediness. Rocklin, I know you were after my gold. You claiming to be a historian, you are nothing but a thief. along with that maggot slave. You are insane, Rockland. Open your eyes. People are dying. The answer lies within this temple. Lies, all lies. You made my wife betray me. You released my slaves and killed my children. I will finish you two off. I wonder if the school teacher is his wife. Rockland pulls out a large knife. Stop this madness. Rockland thrusts a knife into the researcher's chest. Rockland's bloodlust is not complete, and he suddenly lunges at Rosa, who is the slave girl. With his bare hands, he grabs her by the neck. After a few minutes, she falls to the floor. What sort of wrath is this that he choked her to death? No one will have my gold. Finish what he started. I assume the researcher. Finish what the researcher started. And that would be to figure out what is going on with these sirens and put a stop to their killing. Kind of think of it, did we ever find out what happened to Rockland? I guess he probably died with the rest of the island. I find myself in a large room filled with large chests full of gold, but my eyes are quickly drawn to the center of the room. In front of a large altar to Hera stands Deborah. This scene is definitely the same, regardless of whether I spend time with Sarah or Deborah. So that definitely shows how good Deborah is, where she still prays for our safety, regardless of whether we really took the time to befriend her or not. Pray to you, Hera, Queen of all the gods, I have accepted my punishment in disobeying your command, but please accept mercy for those innocent who are still alive on this island. Punish me more if you desire, but let him and his friends leave this island. Please, I pray to you, Hera. Deborah! Lex, how did you find me? There is no time. The others are in danger. Mark and his partner have them. They want the gold. Help you? Let's hurry. I grab a bar of gold to give to them and rush back up to the surface. What the? On the ground lies the body of Mark. Blood is flowing from his body. Blood flowing from Mark, but not from Jake. I wonder if that is significant. Sarah, where? I feel something large smash into the back of my head. I will fall to the ground, unable to move to my body. Supposedly, this is Deborah knocking him out. Even though she is the good siren, she does this. Sarah, I can hear the screams of the girls. I struggle to open my eyes. I can only see a blur of something moving around the room. Who is that, out of curiosity? Is it Deborah, perhaps? Lex, wake up! Sarah, my head is pounding. Suddenly I smell the strong odor of blood. The bodies of Mark and Jake lie in a pool of their own blood. I am now aware that it is only myself and Sarah in the room. Well, this Sarah is not the real Sarah, but once again, the third siren in disguise. What happened, Sarah? Where are the others? I don't know. I was knocked out. I only just come to when I saw you on the ground. Where's Deborah? She was just behind me. It is just the two of us. She must be working for the monsters on this island. She betrayed us. I told you that we couldn't trust her. The mistress and her have fooled us all. Was it really Deborah who knocked me out? Apparently. The answer to this mystery must lie in that chamber. I take a more detailed look in the room where I've seen Deborah praying. Upon the walls are carved great scenes of men carrying a large cage with 3 sets of eyes staring out into the mountain. They carry the cage. This scene, I'm pretty sure, is also the same regardless. Another carving, there are 3 men. One carries a lute, another a lyre, a third is singing. The next scene shows the 2 men offering the lute and lyre to a statue of Hera that looks very much like the one in this room. Lute, lyre, and 3 sets of eyes inside a cage. Have you found something? Maybe in Greek myth there is a legend of the 3 sirens. Their names were Pisono Daughters of the river god Achaeolus, the three played a lute, a lyre, and one sang with her voice. They would lure ships that passed through the waters of Hera to their doom. You think some ancient Greek monsters are really killing people on this island? It adds up, the cruise ship sinking, the deaths, and the Greek ruins littered on this island. What I have gathered, some cult that worshipped Hera must have somehow sealed the sirens in the mountain. Slaves that were forced to mine the gold must have stumbled upon where the sirens were kept and accidentally released them. You are very wise. I wonder what is the significance to offering up the instruments to the statue. Why not destroy them? Maybe the instruments were used to seal them. What makes you say that? There, under the mural, there is a message that reads, "From the voice, the lyre, and the flute sounds the will of Hera to banish the beasts in darkness." You can read that? I was taught when I was very little. Bullcrap! Let's examine the statues for any clues. I examined the statue for any sort of secret lever or switch, but to no avail. As soon as I was about to give up, I started to feel dizzy. Your will is strong enough. And then back there, a passage opens up. I'm pretty sure that is Hera saying that, and our will is strong enough, so it has been opened. Either by Hera or our will. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure which. Give me food and I will live. Oh, that was the fire. All about cannot be seen. That was the wind, right? Certain crime is punishable. Oh, this was the suicide one. Kind of interesting how two of these riddles are about elements, and then the third one is like suicide. One of these things is not like the other. Okay, the instruments! Finally we can put an end to all this. Fake Sarah moves her hand towards the lyre. Stop right there. I grab her hand. What is wrong? You're not Sarah. What do you mean? This isn't the time for jokes. We have the instruments. You have shown no concern about the others, and you can read ancient Greek. You won't trick me again, Siren. You're no fun. Who are you? The mistress? Don't you dare mention her. She is the reason I have so little to feed upon. She may have the rest of the humans, but I have our instruments. What am I going to do? Nothing. An earthquake. Time to run while she's distracted. With the instruments in hand, of course. I was close. The mistress has the girls. But is she keeping them in the manor? What has happened to Deborah? I mean, I was starting to wonder, maybe Deborah knocked you out so she could eat the drug dealers, and you wouldn't know that she was a siren eating drug dealers. But one of the drug dealers, at least, was already dead when we got back up there. Oh yeah, this scene also confused me the first time because it was in black and white. It has no reason to be in black and white. What am I going to do? Lex, Sarah, you're alive, but how? Deborah hid me when the mistress came. I did all I could to save you and Sarah. You were the one who knocked me out? Why? Somebody tell me why! What happened to the others? They are being held by my sister, by the mistress. So you are one of the sirens? Yes, I knew you would eventually find out. If you are one of them, then why have you been trying to help me? You remind me of him. Who? He was upon Jason's ship when it crossed into our waters. Jason's crew succumbed to our enchanting sound, but there was one who was unaffected. His name was Orpheus. With great courage, he began to play his lyre. The music he played was so beautiful, so powerful. It awoke a light in my heart. Okay, was it his lyre or was it your lyre? Because you guys also had lyres. To feel love towards a human was my crime. I let them escape. Hera had her followers seal us on this island, using her own instruments to trap us in the mountain. My sisters despise me for what I have done to them. It was my fault for their imprisonment. We stayed locked away until the slaves unearthed our tomb. Our bodies had long turned to dust. To survive, we took over the bodies of the slaves, but it was clear that we still needed to feed. When our bodies died, we were forced to take another. You must think me a monster, but I tried to fight the hunger. So long I would try to hold out, but I could not. Unable to die, unable to obtain peace. This part almost makes me wonder whether it is really worth saving Deborah if she's just going to eat people some more. If she has to eat people to survive. But she is so nice, I kind of want to save her anyway. Maybe she could eat people in prison. Anyway, eventually there was a few left on the island to feed upon. My sisters started to fight over those who remained. Eventually my older sister won, casting up my younger sister to the remote regions of the island, keeping me as her servant. We are unable to escape this island by Hera's will. That is why she warned us not to leave the manor. Yes, we got to save who's left and get off this island. It is too dangerous. I have the instruments. My sister's lyre and flute, which used to be a lute, but now it's flute. But how? My sister searched the entire island for them. Maybe it was Hera's will. You lack just one instrument. What do you mean? A singing voice. And then we skip to a different part of this cutscene because of a conditional branch. One thing will happen or another. So what is going to happen in this? Then I will help you complete the ritual. Okay, my first run, it was Sarah who was going to do the singing. I didn't notice this, but on the second run, this scene was playing where Deborah was going to be the one doing the singing. And this is indication that yes, I am in fact on the branch that will save Deborah. I will help you complete the ritual. Once it is done, my sisters and I will be sealed once again. I can't accept that. There has to be another way. There is no other way. I have accepted my fate long ago. Deborah. The ritual can only be done in front of the vault that we were sealed in. The entrance is located near the dock. I will unlock the door to the mine. Sarah, I managed to escape. Rose, you are... Don't! That isn't your friend. You dare defy me. You desire to repeat the crimes of your past? Please leave them alone. They don't deserve to die. It is your fault, Lex. You made her turn on her own sister. It is... The mistress stares at the instruments in my hands. My flute! Give me those instruments, mortal! She starts walking towards me. Her right hand begins to change. The delicate features of her hand turn into a grotesque blade. No! Deborah runs in front of me, shielding me from the siren, but the mistress grabs her and throws her against the wall. No more distractions. I will carve out your heart. Okay, this I have to comment on. That looked like the character portrait belonging to Alice Vera, the mystery girl. But now that I think about it, I think that actually is the silhouette of Hera, not in disguise. Although it tells us that it's the ghost of Rosa. But that's not the portrait that the ghost of Rosa was using in the flashbacks. Whatever, the ghost of Rosa appears and suddenly a blinding light fills the room. I grab Sarah and Deborah and start running. By the way, where's Lucy during all this? And then we come to the final sequence. Looks like we are at the entrance to the vault. We are surrounded by crushed bones. These must be the remains of the black slaves. Sarah! So you left our dear sister for him? Give me the instruments or else. The other Siren sister has Sarah by the neck. Each second that passes, the more Sarah screams in pain. Stop! I will give you the instruments. I got to think of something quickly. As I'm about to step closer, a shadow appears from the darkness. The sister is sent flying across the room. The mistress steps forth. You have grown weak over these many years, sister. The mistress grabs Sarah. No more tricks. You will give me the instruments now. The mistress puts her bladed arm up against Sarah's neck. Blood trickles down her skin. I have no choice. The cavern starts shaking. Part of the cavern ceiling starts to fall to the floor. The mistress begins to lose her balance. I grab the girls and dash inside the vault. Does this include Lucy? Where is a Lucy? What is this place? I can't even see anything but darkness. Yes, it is the place we were imprisoned in. Deborah looks so sad. I must make a triangle, then I will start to sing while you two play the instruments. Never played a flute before. Yeah, it doesn't matter. The sound alone will start the ritual. Then let's do this. Deborah starts to sing. Her voice is angelic. I begin to blow through the flute. I can see Sarah trying to play the lyre. A feeling of warmth fills the area around us. The sound coming out of the flute has changed. As I play, I notice the stone coffins begin to open. Didn't really have to tell us that. We could see it. Goodbye, Lex. No, fight it. You don't deserve this fate. Deborah seems to be in great pain as she struggles against the invisible force dragging her towards the stone coffins. Grab my hand, Deborah. Both our hands struggle to come together. A strong force is making it hard to reach her. Just a little bit more. Deborah! The force grows stronger. Deborah is moving closer and closer to the stone coffin. I use all of my strength and make a dash towards Deborah through the void. I manage to grab her hand before I lose consciousness. Okay, where are we now? Where am I? Wait, where are the others? The ritual required the will of mortals to complete. You have served me well, human. Who are you? I have been known by many names, but you may address me as Hera. Again, trying to get a good look at her. Kind of matches that one character portrait we saw. Hera! Now then again, this is her character portrait, so who knows what the deal with that is. Maybe Von Wert just used the wrong character portrait. I am forbidden to directly interfere in the mortal realm. I needed a mortal who could complete my wish. What happened to the others? Only the two sirens were imprisoned within the vault. And we never actually saw that happen, kind of think of it. By your will alone, you were able to change that siren's fate. Even though it was my will for her to be in prison, I cannot go against the fates. So I now hand her over the responsibility of the siren to you. I hope you understand what choice you have made. Thank you. The danger has ended for them, but I fear you soon face something much worse. The only thing I can do is warn you. I was hoping that this part was going to be different. Now that I am hopefully obtaining the best ending. What do you mean? That is a story for another day. It never happens. Start out on sand and then the water raises up. Cough, cough, I wake to find myself in the middle of the ocean. Is anyone there? Lex, over here. I glance over to my right and see the girls clinging to the reins of a ship's lifeboat. Clinging to the wood is Sarah, Rose, Deborah, and Lucy. Oh, thank goodness, she is still here. Deborah! Lex, I am so glad. Cry. I never thought I would see you again. I swim over to Deborah and hold her in my arms. You know, this background actually works, kinda, for implication of swimming through water. What happened? How did we get here? I don't know. The last thing I remember was Deborah singing, and suddenly a bright light. Next thing I knew, I was here. I was being kept in a dark cave. Suddenly the cave filled with light and I ended up here. It looks like we are all safe for the moment, but I don't see the island. How did we end up in the middle of the ocean? I am not sure, but my eye catches something appear over the horizon. It is a ship! We start to wave frantically towards the ship. I think this scene is pretty much the same as the other endings, if I had to guess. 3 hours later. That time I got it. I sit down with the captain of the rescue ship. It looks like you got lucky. If the weather hadn't thrown us off course, we could never have... would never have found you, I guess. I wonder if it was luck. Captain, were you able to find the island we were on? About that. As best I could figure, there couldn't have been any islands near the course your cruise ship took. That is impossible! Not to say there never was an island there before. What do you mean? In the 1800s, there was an island that was a small hub for the slave trade, but the island was sunk years later by a massive earthquake. Was it all a dream? Either that or time travel. Ah, good! Lucy gets an ending! It was just 2 days later when we said our goodbye to Lucy. Having found her father, we left the tearful reunion. I still feel guilt for not being able to save her mother. Yeah, as far as I'm aware though, that's just not possible. So was that it? Did I go on a third run just for one line mentioning Lucy and then 2 more lines of an epilogue? I'm not entirely sure that was worth it. Maybe it would have been better if we had actually been able to see that reunion. Thank you, Alex, for letting Rose and I stay at your home till I could get everything squared away with my music agency. It was the least I could do. I just hope everything goes well for you. I was glad to have you with me on that island. I still can remember the horrors we experienced. I imagine those horrors would be really hard to forget. I'm very sorry for your manager, Sarah. It was my fault that... I don't blame you, Deborah. Lex had faith in you. So do I. Thank you, Sarah. I must be gone, but I hope I can visit you again soon. I guess we are alone now. Are you afraid of me, knowing what I truly am? Of course not. You are not a monster. You are Deborah. Please do not eat me when you get hungry. The person I fell in love with. Lex kiss. And that was it. As far as I'm aware, that is the best ending of the game. So, definitely not a bad game. However, before I actually go into a full review of this game, we're going to go into our second and final episode break of this game. And when we come back, I'm going to be poking around the editor and checking things out. I'm sure we can find some pretty interesting stuff.